Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 12th of August, and I'm calling this Strong Wednesday. It seems an eternity since the last video, and of course, going from doing them every morning to then 3 times a week, once a week seems as if they're quite wide apart. But I think we start first of all just using my ABC. So this morning we affirm, I am strong. We take a deep breath, and that's the slow breathing, the nice deep breathing from the lower diaphragm. And breathe in through the nose, hold, and then breathe out through the mouth slowly. And then see the creative imagination. You have to use your creative imagination to just imagine yourself strong and magnificent like a lion. And I'll be doing the letting go meditation at the end today. So why strong? Well, I was thinking it's really a homage to the magnificent lion. It was World Lion Day on the 10th, and I just love these magnificent animals and their strength. And of course, in these ongoing uncertain times, I think we all need to know how to be strong and find ways of finding strength. So here are some tips, and in addition to feeling strong, when you feel strong, you actually will feel, or you will be more focused. You will find life more positive. So just really a wee kind of backtrack, but as many of you know, my life came crashing down when it was 6 years ago now, when I lost my son to suicide. And I know I'm not alone in this feeling, as many people have had their lives crashing down round about them, particularly some recently in the pandemic when they haven't been able to be with loved ones or say goodbye to their loved ones. And that feeling really of not being able to do that will last, well, really last forever. And when your life comes crashing down around you, you can experience anxiety. You can be overwhelmed, you can feel, go down with depression, you struggle with everything. But if you're resilient and you have the courage, and I take that kind of from the magnificent lion, you actually can move forward, and you'll endure life in a different way, in a more positive way. I mean, if you have lost a loved one, then finding the strength to move forward more positively, in my eyes, is actually to honour your loved one. And remember, they live on in your heart and soul forever. So it's a difficult thing maybe for me to say, but having been through it, I know that you can endure just in a different way. Now, I know some people say, oh, everything happens for a reason. And when something like that, the loss of a loved one so suddenly, or a tragic accident, it's difficult to swallow. But what you can do in any kind of circumstances is change your mindset, change your attitude. You've got to change your attitude to what has happened. If you keep running around and doing far too much, you're actually just avoiding feeling, you're avoiding what happened, everything, and you can actually become even more overwhelmed. So you need to slow down. And that's why I kind of started my ABC tips, because they're short and they're easy to do, and within just a minute or two you can slow yourself down. So if you change your mindset and you slow down, even in the darkest of times, you can start to think about what is important to you. The next kind of tip is, don't lose sight of who you are. Don't become the victim. Now, it's normal to have some thoughts of why me, if only, why did this happen to me, what if, and all these what ifs. But saying these things and thinking these things just impacts on your health in a negative way. So you need to take care of yourself first. And I like the phrase, it was Helen Keller, now she was an American author a political activist and lecturer, but she was the first deaf-blind person. I know I think it's not politically correct to say these words, but she was the first deaf-blind person to earn, I think it was a Bachelor of Arts degree at university. And she said, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision." Now just think about that for a minute. Imagine having sight but no vision. So be kind to yourself. Take care of your mind, your body and your soul. When you do this, you will find strength. I know. And you will find a sense of calm and even a sense of peace. When you care for your mind and your body and your soul, you ground yourself, and it stops you from sort of exaggerating everything that's happened to you. And of course, remember, above all, it's not what happens to you, but it's how you respond to the challenges of life, the traumas, the tragedies, and it's how you respond makes all the difference. Lou Holtz, he was an American footballer, and I liked his phrase. He said that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. So you need to let go of what you can't control. As human beings, we really are, we seem to just want to control everything, and we can't control everything. So you need to think about things you can control, but let go of the things you can't. Not everything in life is within your control. You don't know what tomorrow brings, so think of today. Live in the moment. Of course, if the tragedy is the loss of a loved one, you will grieve. Of course you will grieve. You will cry. You may cry every day for the rest of your life. But it's okay to be not okay. But you still need to, I spoke previously in previous videos that it's good for the body, the mind and the soul to let it all out. Find somewhere, preferably on your own, where you can cry, you can sob like a baby, scream even, until you feel you have no more tears. It really is good. You can I've done it. You've cried so much, you feel there's no more tears will come. And of course they do come. They come the next day or the next week. Because when you lose a loved one, they're never out of your thoughts really, even for a moment. I was horrified recently. I think it actually was a social media post, but someone posted up, and this was just abhorrent to me, but I think it was also a medical profession. She'd told someone, or he'd told someone, that who'd only lost their loved one for, I think it was just a few months, that, well, surely you're over it now. And I thought, what a thing to say for anybody to say, but particularly maybe a medical profession. They clearly have no understanding. You don't get over a loss like that. But you're not a victim, you're not a survivor. And I like to think of myself as you learn with strength, resilience and courage to endure every moment of every day in a different way. If the challenge is not, of course, the tragedy or the loss of a loved one, but all the many challenges that you face in life, what life throws at you, you need to learn from these challenges. And if you learn, then opportunities, you can turn them into opportunities. So accept these challenges and opportunities come your way. And you will actually also feel empowered. Don't be bitter. Bitterness really don't be bitter and hateful. It'll suck all your energy, and it does you no good and anyone else round about you. If you're bitter and you're hateful, you'll miss out on life's wonders and the wonder of living in the moment. When you're feeling everything, of course, is too much, then, as I say, cry, sob, let it out. Because when you do that, you actually will feel you'll be more compassionate, you'll feel even freer, and you'll have no anger with anyone. I mean, anger, all these negative feelings, they damage your health and they damage relationships with everyone round about you. Now, accepting the challenges of life does not mean you're just resigned to it. You're not resigned to them. It means you understand the challenges for what they are. And I think it was Michael Fox. You'll probably remember him as Marty McFly in the Back to the Future trilogy. He said, I think it was him that said, you should see challenges for what they are, and there is a way through. And of course, I think he's suffering from Parkinson's disease at the moment, but he still remains really very positive. The positivity of the mind does help in both mental and physical health. Of course, don't be too proud to talk to someone about what you're going through, but that isn't easy. And I know, and I talk about this in my book on the pain of losing my son, and about how he had difficulty in talking. He would talk academically about everything, but not about his own kind of mental health issues. What I did learn, of course, from writing my book and my experience of the pain of this loss was sharing is caring and helps healing. And the stories from people who shared their pain as well, shared their stories of the pain they experienced, they told me that they felt this too, that they found it therapeutic. So sharing is caring and helps healing. And of course, be a good listener if somebody is wanting to talk, and that can be a difficult thing as well. And you have to look back maybe at when I talked about my effective listening model. It's not jumping in, it's not pushing forward with advice. It's not like coaching or mentoring. It's being a listener. And I think many of us actually don't listen. You sometimes, I mean, I've done it as well. Somebody starts a story, oh, listen, what happened to me? And you jump in and go, oh, yes, that happened to me as well. And it's like you want to tell them that what happened to you was worse. But that's not being a good listener. You have to be really, people who are most effective are effective communicators and listeners. So when I talk about turning challenges into opportunity, that's not easy either, because if somebody's betrayed you or somebody has stripped away your confidence, it's very difficult to trust again, and it's very difficult to build your confidence. But if you see these as opportunities, you will find it sort of liberating, and you'll realise that you'll be more innovative and creative. I think I spoke in a previous video about when I was doing returners to work, and the energy in the room was so sort of low, and people were talking about, or they were just a mother, or they were just this, and it was turning their mindset around to go, nobody is just that, and getting to realise that actually that as home workers or housewives as they were at the time, there were nurses, there were chauffeurs, there were time managers, money managers, and getting to realise they actually had all these skills that could transfer into other jobs. And there was one lady, in fact there was two of them, who had been made redundant, and so they were trying to get back into work. And it was interesting, I found it interesting anyway, that the two of them had completely different attitudes and mindsets. Both of them had been made redundant, and one of them was completely just overwhelmed. She was negative, I'll never get another job again, what am I going to do? We have no money coming in. Now the other lady was in the same circumstances, but she actually said, I was frightened, it was awful, but I suddenly thought, I didn't really like my job. This is going to give me an opportunity to do something else. And of course, I was trying to explain to them that if they were even going for interviews or doing other things, this negative aura, this kind of negative energy around them, that will come across at interview. And you know that yourself. If you meet someone and you can feel their negativity, and you suddenly think, oh, well, and I was saying to these girls or ladies, If an interviewer feels that, they will not want to employ somebody like that, perhaps no matter their skills. So try and be positive. You need to see things that happen like that as opportunities to do something new. And I was very proud of the fact that actually later on, it was similar circumstances. One lady actually discovered that she had a talent and skill for doing something else, and she created her own business. She became an entrepreneur. Now, I know there are people, and we've met lots of them, that you go into work and they're sitting there and they're just really hoping they get their salary at the end of the month and then they retire. And is that a fulfilling life? Maybe for some. But if you're that kind of go-getter and that positive mindset, then you can, maybe ask for the career opportunity. If the firm makes you redundant, then see it as, right, well, I can maybe do something else. Or you could maybe start another career, go back to studying. That's what was really good about, I think, the Open University, because when I was with the Open University, many of the students then had maybe not had opportunities earlier in life, but they actually turned it around and thought, right, I can actually now study. Not so sure if I've got the same sort of focus nowadays, but it was fabulous then, meeting lots of the people that I count as close friends. Actually, I met through the Open University, and we're just kind of lifelong friends. They seem to have a different attitude to life, so that was fabulous. So kind of these video sessions are slightly shorter than my previous ones, but all of them are up on YouTube if you want to catch up with them. So I repeat, change your mindset. If you've got a positive attitude, you can overcome challenges, and you can see that from these challenges you will find your greatest strengths. Dump negative people. I've said it before, said it again. Surround yourself with positive people. And of course that can be difficult if you're living with somebody who's negative. I hope maybe the ripple effect of some of these things I've been saying in the video will catch on. They might hear a video and might change their mindset. But you can only change yours. You can't change someone else. So what have I promoted throughout this? Take yourself off to the bathroom or somewhere quiet, lock the door, and just ground yourself with the ABC. And don't kind of allow yourself to wallow in self-pity. Surround yourself with positive people, people who boost you, who build you up and make you feel good. The people who want to bring you down, they're actually doing that just to boost themselves. And I know it's difficult, but you need to kind of let them go, put them in the balloon exercise, get them and just get them out of your mind. So I spoke of this also in a previous video as well. Set boundaries. And I'm the world's worst. I've had to learn this. Don't be the person that always says yes. And I think I still can be. It's difficult because you do things because you want to make other people happy, because it makes you feel happy. But sometimes you end up kind of running yourself ragged. And really, if you don't take care of yourself, you'll not be able to take care of anyone else. Definitely say no to things or people that hurt you. I mean, that's just say no to everything that impacts on your on your health, on your life completely, because everything that impacts on you negatively impacts on your health, your mental and physical, your mental, emotional, psychological and physical well-being. Dump controlling relationships. You should really feel that I'd rather be single than be in a controlling relationship. And don't settle for second best. I've been there. I think you think, well, I better just do this, this seems the good way out at the moment. But actually, don't settle for second best. You are the best and you deserve the best. And when you set boundaries, you protect yourself. So there's nothing better than protecting yourself. And there's a kind of wee exercise, it tends to be When I was doing my studies at university, I remember working with Dr. Toriai at Tokyo University, and they were very much into energy, and it interested me. And one of the ways actually you can protect yourself is you can actually, if somebody's negative round about, you can actually kind of bring your hands down, just stroke your hair, bring your hands down, and it's like creating this kind of emotional barrier between them and you, so you can listen to them but not get sucked into their negative energy. Very simple thing to do. I didn't go into this in great detail, but I was very interested in these kind of energy studies, because we are energy. We have energy. You know when you meet somebody instinctively, that's a positive energy and the other ones are negative. Is it, I can't even remember the phrase now, I'm having a senior moment here, but it's some people are drainers, suck you dry, and others just exude positivity, and you want that round about you. And of course, very personal to me, I suppose, is I remember that a few days, I remember that my gorgeous son is now out of pain. But as he told me just a few days before that fateful day, he said, "Don't worry, things will work out all right." And it was interesting because they have worked out all right for me. I'm doing these videos, I'm doing much more on Mind Circles, and he gave me lots of these tips. And there's nothing more I would like more than to have him sitting with me here. But he is, I'm using my red door blue now, but he is sitting with me now and saying, "Go for it, Mum, go for it." So I invite you, because I've written about this in my book, and there's also tips and tools, and I must thank everybody who kind of pre-ordered, because if you pre-order you get a signed copy, and thank you very much. So please invite everyone, if they want to find out more and have comfort and hope if they've suffered really any kind of pains, that I've tried to give tips and tools on that as well. So thank you to everybody, because it inspires and motivates me to kind of keep going as well. And I know I keep going to honour my son and his message, everything's going to be all right. So thank you again. And of course, keep smiling, everybody. It costs you nothing. And the affirmations for today, I think just a short one. I am strong. Maybe another one. I have courage. And of course, be kind to yourself. So I'm going to do the letting go meditation, because I think lots of people do find it difficult to, their mind gets so full, and I think we need to just slow down and get rid of the negative thoughts, everything that kind of comes into our mind. So if we sit comfortably, again, we're grounding ourselves. And when you look after your body, mind and soul, you actually are grounding yourself. And put your feet on the ground and back straight, because you don't want to slouch, you want to have that positive feeling. And of course, the as if a string of invisible thread is holding your head up, so you're sort of straight and comfortable but confident. And this meditation, it helps you if you're feeling everything's getting overwhelmed into your mind. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to sit comfortably, breathe in through the nose, hold, and then exhale. Now, if you've got any kind of hurt, emotional pain, and you'll feel it somewhere in your body, so this letting go exercise helps you to find out where this emotional pain or this hurt is sitting. So I want you to take another deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale. Now I want you to think of something or someone who has hurt you or is hurting you. Perhaps there's nothing specific, but you feel as if there's pain or hurt sitting somewhere. And I want you to take a moment to think about where this pain is. Is it in your head, your neck, your heart, your tummy, your legs? Where is this pain, this emotional pain and hurt sitting? Even if it's physical pain, that affects your mind as well. So try and find out, just sit quietly and think about where this pain is sitting. Now, once you've found where this is sitting, might even be kind of as if it's all over your body, I want you to give it a number. Now, 1 is for, well, 0 is for no pain, 1's for some pain, a little pain, right up to 10, which is just intense pain. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Take another deep breath in through the nose, and as you breathe out, feel your body and your mind and your soul filling with the warmth of your breath. Breathe slowly again in through the mouth and let it fill your body. Now exhale slowly through the mouth. Feeling your breath, just imagine, feel that breath leave your body. Now breathe in again slowly through the nose. And I want you to send a smile, send a warm feeling to the area where you were hurting, just like a smile. Send it to the part of your body that was hurting and say silently to yourself, I let it go. I let it go. Now exhale slowly, still sending positive thoughts and that smile to the area of your body that was hurting. Now breathe in again, slowly through your nose. Hold. And just send positive thoughts to yourself, just like a smile. Now silently say to yourself, I let it go. I let it go. Now take a moment to think about where the pain and the emotional pain was in your body. And when you say, I let it go, what number would you give it now? Now, if you do this exercise, you should find that if your number has been quite high, I've had occasion where it's been 10, but when I do this letting go and I send the positive thoughts and smile to that area that's hurting, the number I can often bring is 4, even 2. And it can get less, so if you feel pain is overwhelming you, just please do this letting go exercise. You're sending a smile to yourself. You're sending positive thoughts to yourself. Now you can open your eyes, and any time that you feel any kind of emotional pain, stress or anything, you can find the area within your body that's hurting, your heart, your head, maybe your feet, knees, anywhere, and send that smile to it. Send the positive thoughts to that. The mind is extremely powerful. And if, like me, you do this, you will find the number will reduce. So anytime you need to do this, please do so. I do this exercise, when I just need to let go of everything, of things that are hurting me, of people. That, along with my balloon exercise, I think I did that in a previous video, that you can wrap them in the ribbon, it's the ribbon or the balloon, and send them off. These things are really helpful. So that's it for today, and I hope it sets you up for today and for the rest of the week. I'm continuing to do these. In fact, I have been thinking about doing a podcast. I'm not sure. I see David's on at the moment, but he introduced me to, I think it was you that introduced me to, is it Kevin McCormack, who's a wonderful Irish voice. I think people, I'm being a bit boastful here, but I think Irish accents and Scottish accents are just beautiful. We've got a lilt to them. People seem to find them soothing. But he's doing a podcast, and it was interesting because I'm thinking of doing a podcast. Not really sure what podcasts are or all about. I'm going to try that. So, and then I'll post them up on YouTube. And I think I can record them. And you don't need to see me even. You could just see my voice and maybe have a nice music behind it, a bit like my meditations. But you can catch all my videos on the YouTube channel. And please, if you find anybody is suffering with the experience of pain of loss, I'm very proud to have written my book, The Weight of Emptiness. And if you can spread the word, then I would like everybody to have comfort and hope after they've experienced such loss. And thank you again. You've motivated and inspired me. I'm now actually, I think, off shopping with one of the grandchildren. She doesn't go back to school until Friday. It's all kind of staggered up here in Scotland. So I'm going to have a lovely day with somebody young. Keeps me young, keeps the grey cells going. So thank you very much to everybody, and have a fabulous day, and virtual hugs to everybody.